I'm happy to go then. Andrew, start with you. Just being in Argentina and soaking it up, guess what's the sort of vibe been around camp, and just what are you sort of expecting when you sort of run on the weekend? It's probably going to be a pretty passionate crowd given the circumstances.
Yeah, mate, I haven't been back here since I was here with the Waratahs quite a few years ago, so it's certainly nice to be back. It's a great hotel, it's a great country. The boys have certainly enjoyed getting around and have a look around, but yeah, look, it's a passionate rugby nation, and we're excited to get out there.
Just on the team, Hamish Stewart coming into this back line. What sort of character is Hamish, and just can you sort of give me an insight of what he can bring into this team?
Yeah, Hammer doesn't give much away. He's pretty quiet. He's got a great poker face, but he's he's really been knocking on the door. He works hard. He's tough as nails, and he's certainly earned his opportunity. And obviously, it's not ideal for Hunter, but you got a guy like Hammer stepping in who brings a whole different set of skills. And on a personal note, I'm really excited to jump on outside him and see how he goes.
Tate during the week spoke about the attack and trying to get more sort of output out of it. When you look at sort of your return in those entries into the 22, what's been done in between this South Africa and Argentinian break just to kind of get the best out of what you're putting out there on the field?
Yeah, well, we're always working on combinations. It's a new coaching staff, so they're doing the same thing, and then obviously new players, as I'm sure you've seen. So for us, the challenge over the last couple of weeks has been how do we work together really well. I think rugby's a pretty simple game, and we're not reinventing the wheel. And the challenge for us, as I said, is really nutting out those combinations and making sure we're doing the best we can to put each other in good positions.
And just one from Isaac. Just coming back to South America, I know you're half Chilean. Have you got family still in Chile that's going to make the trip over, or what's the experience like being over here?
Yeah, it's been a bit weird. I went to Chile probably when I was 8. So it's been about 16 years since I last was there. First time in Argentina, but no grandparents or cousins making the trip over the Andes.
Andrew, you obviously mentioned wonderful country. I know a lot of the boys got to Estadio Monumental for River versus Newell's. Both of you, did you get to experience it, and what did you reckon?
No, I was jet lagged. I was asleep before kickoff, so I didn't get out there. I'm making the most of having no children in the hotel, so I was sleeping.
No, I just got a couple videos from some of the lads that were there, but it looked pretty exciting. So if the fans are like that at the rugby stadium, it'll be a pretty good atmosphere.
In terms of Andrew, in terms of touring, obviously you've had the tests and this side under Joe in Australia. Can you just touring can bring a team together. How do you find just the different circumstances, different training? Do you feel that's bind you together as a team away?
Oh yeah, I mean it always helps being away. You're in each other's pockets, right? So you find out just about everything about each other. That being said, look, it's only been not even a week yet, so yeah, I mean it definitely helps. It definitely helps. There's far less distractions than being at home. We're all together and we're spending a lot of time together. So yeah, look, it's been fantastic. As you said, it's it's part of the job for us. We get to travel a lot and do this stuff a lot, and it's always in the top 3 best parts of the job. So this time has been no different.
Just final question from me. It is a shorter field. It's a narrow field. Andrew, do you feel you're taking any lessons from the monsoon in Perth, just in terms of how you want to play? Because it is going to be maybe not as bad, but similar.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen the forecast. We've all sort of had a good look at that. And here's hoping it's not quite monsoonal like it was in Perth. But yeah, no, definitely. I think it was probably the first time this year, with the exception, of Melbourne, that we'd really had a game in the rain. So yeah, looking forward to getting out there and whole different ball game in those conditions.
Hey Isaac, you'll be coming off the bench, and another guy, an Argentinian great, and Augustine Creevy will be as well. It's likely to be his last fixture. What do you know about Augustine? What are you expecting? What are you expecting about the intensity and the vibrancy of what it's going to be like in that second half?
I mean, across the board, I think they've got some really talented players, and coming off the bench, they've got a lot of experience. Creevy himself, I think he's got over 100 and something caps, probably the most cap player. You know, I've watched him, you know, a couple times at the international level. You know, it'll be pretty exciting. Someone like me is just starting their international career, seeing how someone, you know, is able to play that long at this level. You know, just see what he does out in the field. So, you know, it'll be pretty good to come up against him in the scrum as well.
Now, when you have someone like Taniela come back into your pack, can you both speak about the confidence that provides, and even a comment from you, Kels, about what someone like
Got a shutdown there, Christy.
Uh-oh.
having Taniela at, you know, the front?
Sorry, mate, we lost you halfway through that question.
I was just going to ask around Taniela and what impact he can provide, both from a set piece point of view, but around the park as well, and how much confidence does he give the Wallabies?
Well, I think, you know, we sort of missed him in those 2 games against South Africa, and in particular around the scrum. You know, he's literally such a big asset in the scrum, and, you know, around the field, whether he's got the ball in his hands or he's outside you for that little tip pass. I think defenders just sort of have to respect him regardless. So, you know, if he can open up seams for guys either side of him, you know, he's got real good skill, and he's such a powerful ball carrier. So, you know, he's going to draw in eyes and, you know, a lot of attention to himself. And, you know, I think he'll thrive off that. And I think he's really keen to get into the game as well, just speaking to him throughout the week.
And Kels, has there been kind of any talk about 2022? I know that you weren't on that tour, but you saw what Argentina can do. You know, one week they probably didn't show up, and the next they did. What are some of the kind of chats around Argentina and containing them alike?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit. Obviously, that game we got peppered with high balls. I think Baffelli got a couple back and scored one, and I think Marika might have saved one by the skin of his teeth. So, to be frank, that's not dissimilar to the way South Africa plays. So that hasn't changed a whole heap in our prep, but it's beneficial in terms of preparing for this game. You know, most teams have a pretty solid identity, and you know, it's definitely beneficial looking back on that stuff in terms of prepping for this week. But as you say, you know, sort of down one week and up the next, and the challenge for us is to make sure we're on and we're prepared, and you know, we're certainly doing our best to do that.
And last one from me anyway. Probably for the first time in a long time, Australia head over not necessarily being favourites. Like, how does that sit with the group in terms of, does it allow you guys to go over there with an attitude of, we're the underdogs, let's go out there and, you know, let's surprise people?
Well, I don't think you ever think you're the underdog, right? Maybe it's a human thing. I don't think you ever think you're the underdog. So to be honest, Christy, we haven't really touched on that. We haven't even thought about it. So as I said, our focus is on getting those combinations right, spending time with each other, and making sure that we're building from South Africa, but from Wales prior to that. And you know, the challenge is growth, and that's what we're chasing.
Charles, in terms of the Pumas backline, obviously, well, I mean, the side in general, they put a lot of points on the All Blacks when they had that upset win. What's your opposition analysis, I guess, told you about the threats that they bring, and, you know, how the way they're going to play? Yeah,
well, you said it there. Lots of points against the All Blacks is not something to be ignored, and you know, they certainly earned that win. And yeah, look, backline's electric. Great backfield, big centres, and smart halves. And I think if you're a selector, that's the sort of stuff you're looking for. So again, I sound like a broken record, and sorry to not give you anything interesting, but really, and I mean it, the focus has been you know, almost exclusively on us this week, making sure we're getting the stuff right that we need to do on our side of the ball, and hopefully that puts us in a position to win the game.